Hello guys, thank you so much for tuning into this DataTechs tutorial. My name is Akosmaila. I'm a database developer. I try my possible best to stock in this powerful community in YouTube here tutorials that are so useful and are going to help you in your database development journey. We do tutorials on Microsoft Access and then also Microsoft SQL Server. If you have not subscribed to this particular channel, if you're a newcomer indeed, why don't you subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and then also turn on the little bell notification icon so that each time that I put in here any helpful tutorial, YouTube will notify you so that you don't miss a video. In today's tutorial, we are going to start building from scratch how to handle invoices in Microsoft Access. So I'm going to teach you how to develop a database that can actually help you track invoices or manage invoices in your business, and then also how to use that same database to send the invoices to your customers via email. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, sip your tea, and just be with me as I take you through the tutorial.
Okay guys, so we start the tutorial by first creating a blank Microsoft Access database. So we do that right on our desktop here. So right click. Here we go to new, then we select Microsoft Access. So we type the name of the project here. So here I'll say Invoice Management DB. Okay, so the name of the project is Invoice Management DB. We quickly right click, then we hit open to have it launched. Okay, now let's enable content and we are good to go. So the first thing that we will do is by changing the name that we have at the top in here. You can see that whilst this is supposed to be the title bar showing only the name of the current project, it has also attached to it the file root, which is not something that we prefer. So to get rid of the file root here, we go to file, the backstage view, select option. Now here in current database, you type the name of the project alone here. So we say Invoice Management Database. So it must not necessarily be what we have in here, it can be any other name, but then I prefer using exactly what I have here. Okay, so now we are truly good to go here. So we are first we are going to create the product table. So there has to be products in the system here, because invoices are actually concerned with products. So you go to create table design. Now here we will say products number, and product number is going to be auto number. Let's do away with the spaces here. So let us make this a primary key. We first save the table, right click here, save. So we say products. Okay, so now we are going to say batch number. So batch, what is the batch number of this particular project? So it's a short test and I'll leave it to 10. Now also I'll say product name is also a short test and I'll leave it to 25. Okay, so now let us say product price. So let's say the price, and now the price here is going to be currency. Okay, so there has to be some validation over here, because you know, since this one is price and it's currency, the value shouldn't be negative. So here we say validation rule, we say greater than or equal to 0, because the default value is already 0. And then in case this validation rule is actually breached, what should be the error message? So we said invalid price amount entered. So please enter again. Okay, so invalid price amount entered, please enter again. Okay, so these are some few fields that we shall be using to describe the product. You feel free, you check the description of this video for the link to this particular project, and you can edit it in any way. Feel free to modify and add varieties of fields. I am just showing you the engineering. Okay, so now we go to the datasheet view here. Okay, so guys, let us add some couple of products. So here I'll say batch number, then also product. So let's say Gento's price is 20. So let's say another product. Now let's say Obapa. So Obapa macro. So the price, let's say, is 13.69. So another product, so let's say Choco Malt is 12. So another product, let's say Ice microphone, and let's say it's 120. Okay, so these are some few products that will enter for now. We'll be coming back later on to update this. Now, having created your products table, what we do is we create a form, because you know that every table has to get a form. So we go to create here, form wizard. So now let's click this double arrow button to add all the fields. Now we go to next. Okay, so next again, the form type is still column. Now we go to next. So here, let's say products FRM. So let's view this particular form. Okay, so this is the form that we've actually managed to create. Let us get behind it and make some few improvements to it. Okay, so the first thing that I will do is to set the length of the fields here the same. So I'll right click, once selected, I'll go to size and I'll select widest. Okay, so what this one has done is that it has actually extended all of them to the widest, the one that has the widest size. So here I will do away with this and I'll pull this one here. Now we come to property sheet other, we make sure pop up you set it to yes. So we select everything here. Now font size 12 is okay, color is also black. Okay, so now the next thing I will do is to select this, then I'll align right and I'll bold it as well. We double click here, record selector no, navigation we can actually leave it yes. So let us see the form. Okay, so this is how the form is actually looking. Now we are not going to do much to the form designs. I have a lot of videos in my playlist, you can check it out, teaching how to create forms in Microsoft Access. Okay, so now finally let us set alignment and add some couple of buttons here. So we go to design view again. So alignment, we set it to right. Now we can change the color here. So let's say we are sticking to this. Okay, so now we have this here. You can use this to search any product of choice. So you can say mortar and here we have it shown. Okay, so the next thing is that we add buttons to this particular form. So here in the contextual menu, make sure design tab is selected. You click the button like the button objects. Now, so the first button is going to be record operation add new. So next, then here we're going to say add. So let's hit finish. Let me extend it. Now the next button is going to refresh. So we add it here. So now we come to form operations, refresh form data. So here the name, you change it to save, finish. Okay, so we resize it neatly here. Okay guys, so now you can also feel free to add a button that can do the deletion for us. So without not much we do, let us add that button. So we click here, record operations, now delete record. So test, delete, finish. Okay, so now we have successfully set up our product form. So this time around we can add a product with this particular form. So let's try it out. So add now the batch of the product. So let's say, so what is the product here? So let's say Arabian keyboard 12. The price, let's say, is 300. Now we save. So now that it is saved, you come back here and refresh, and now you can see we have your Arabian keyboard neatly shown over here. Okay, so now we are done with products. So let's save. Now the next table is going to be the customers table. So we go to create table design. So here we say customer ID, and customer ID is going to be auto number, so primary key. So now we say customer name and font size, so let us allow only 50 characters here. So we can also track the DOB. So DOB, now you come to caption. So the field name is DOB, but the caption should be birth date, or you can say traditionally date of birth. Okay, so now customer ID, customer name, date of birth. So let's take address of the customer. Address I will allow 50. Now let us take the customer's phone number. So this one is shortest, and I'll allow only 12. So we can finally take the customer's email, and then we also allow over here 50. Now for the email, we are going to set up a default value. So for fields without emails, we are going to say then Microsoft Access should put this in that particular cell. So we say at example site.com. Okay, so soon we'll view the table so that you see the effect of what we have actually done here. Now we are done. Right click, you save, say customers. Okay, so let's click here to view this particular table. So now here you can see that by default the email is at example site.com. Okay, so this will be a tip to the data entry personnel. So now the first customer will be myself, so I'll say Smiler Akon, date of birth, so let's say 12 November 00, which is incorrect. Now address I will say Kaswa. So phone number, we can actually put some random digits there. So let's say Christabel Amankwa. So let's say 3rd June, so 2002. Now let's say Bojase. So here, okay. Now let's refresh. Let's add one more customer. So let's say Evans Tete. So 1st November 1994. So here we'll say. So let's say it's still Accra. Okay, so now let's type some random digits there as the telephone. Okay, so you feel free and then modify whatever that we have here, modify it in any way that you actually prefer, because the link is right in the description. Okay, so now that we have this here, so what we are going to do is we will need to create the form for the customers, so the customers form. So now because we already have this form here, we just right click, copy, then control V to paste. So we change it to customers. So this is a quicker way of creating forms, because ideally you will have a lot of forms to create, and if you have to be creating them one by one, it is indeed going to be such a downhearted task. So why don't you just duplicate? So now that we have this one here, let us see how to customize. So go to design view. Now the first thing that you will need to do is to get rid of everything that we have in here. So the buttons will be the same. Sorry. So let us extend this here. So here the color, let's use a suitable color. So this is okay. Now let's go to the product form also and change it. So we want to maintain this color throughout here. Okay. So now the first thing I need to do is to change the record source. So double click here. So you can see that although it's a customer's form, but then it is still what the record source is product. So we click here, then we select customers. Okay, so now once you click design, add existing field, you have the fields of the table here to add to the form. So we hold the control key whilst we use the left mouse button to select all these here. So now we are moving everything, we click, bam, now we leave it here. Okay, so let us select size widest. So over here too, we extend it a bit. So let me extend this one also. Now highlight everything here. So let's say 12, it's okay. We leave it at black. Okay, so now here we'll bring this one here. So you can see that the buttons, because each time that you copy and paste a form or you make a duplicate of an existing form, buttons will gray out. So to fix this, you select all the buttons. Select all buttons. Now you can either choose to go to this side or this side. Click here and now you will have it, or you can just choose any of the designs here and it will actually change it to the original colors. Okay, so let's change the caption of the form. So we go to property sheet format tab. So it is not product this time around, it is customers. Okay, so let us preview the form. Okay, good. So guys, now we have our customers forms also set up neatly here. So let us set alignment also. So I will extend this a bit because a customer's name could be very lengthy. Left alignment. Okay, so now let us neatly group the button also here. So to change the designs of the button, you go to formats, quick styles. We have a lot of designs here, but then I prefer using only what we have here to make things so simple for us in this video. Okay guys, so now we close. Now we move on to the last but not least table, which is the invoice table. So now here we have to pay very much attention here. So we go to create. Now we go to table design. Okay, so we are going to say order. So here we say order ID. So order ID, we change it to the data type needs to be auto number. So let's make this one the primary key, the full free. Okay, so now here, who is ordering? The customer. So we say customer ID. So now this customer ID, let's come to the customers table here. There's going to be a relationship, and you know the data type here is number. So because we shall be building relationship, we change it over here to number. Mind you, you cannot have two auto numbers in the same table here. Okay, so now number. Now that we have this one as number, so we are good to go now here. So we say order ID, customer ID, then we say order date. So this one will be date or time. Simply click here and choose that. Okay, so by default the order date is supposed to be equal to date. So now this date is a function in Microsoft Access whose output is a system time as a system date here, sorry. So it means that the output here will be 11/9/2020. So in no time we shall see it. So order ID, customer ID, order date, and now we will need the product. So we say product. Okay, so now here, as we have the product here, so we change it to number. Now here we come to lookup. So click here, we select combo. Okay, so record source, table or query is okay. So now let's define the row source. So go to the builder icon, products. Okay, so we need the product number and then the product name. So Ctrl S to save. Now we close. Okay, so here column count is 2, but when you come to column width, we don't want to, there is no need showing product number, so we type 0:1. Then we hit the tab key. So now we are good to go. Let us save this table. So right click, we hit save. Now we say invoice order. So order TB. So we have order ID, the customer ID, the order date, the product. So we can also bring in here the order time, or you can just choose to leave it as it is. Okay, so now quantity. So quantity of the product, this will also be a number. Okay, so let's say the quantity will also be a number, the default value 0. Now the validation rule is greater than or equal to 0. So even quantity cannot be 0, so let's make it 1 to avert any kind of troubles. So by default it's supposed to be 1. So we say if this validation is breached, we say that you entered an invalid quantity. Now we save. Okay, so we are good to go at this phase. So let us view the table here. So now here you can see that the order date by default appears as this. So before we start to enter values in here, let us first define a form for this particular invoice table. So without not much we do, we duplicate the customers table as such. So right click, copy, now you paste. So you say order FRM. Okay, so here in order FRM design view, so here data, you change it to invoice, or you can click here and select invoice. Okay, so you can see that now these ones have all got some green flag in their corners, meaning that their record source cannot be found in this table because we don't have any field like email or phone in the invoice table. So select everything and get rid of them. So first we choose to add existing fields. So here we select everything and we bring everything here, bam. Okay, so now here we'll bring a label here. So we say order form and then center. So fonts I will use Erasmus. So let's use 14. Black is okay. Okay, so now let's stretch it. So right click, size, you go to widest. Okay, so let me bring this here. Now I change it back to this. Okay, so the final thing will be the caption here. So caption, we change it to order. So we change it to orders. Now the color here, we set it to black. Font size 12. Okay, so now let's see the order table. Sorry, the order form. So this is the order form as we have here. Now we shall be inserting another subform here that will show us the orderings that a particular customer or the current customer is making. So before we do this, we make another duplicate of the customer's form. So right click, copy, now you paste. So here you say customer invoices. Okay, so we go to design view again. So this time round we will need a form header. So you right click here, right click anywhere here. Now you say form header or footer, you bring it out here. So sorry, it was already there, I've removed it, so I click it again and now you can see I have the form header. If you want to remove it, click here. Now you just tap in here and it goes away. So let us bring it back. Okay, so what we are going to do is we change the color of the header also. So this time round we will not need date of birth, we wouldn't need the address, so I will choose to show only. So at ordering I will choose to show only this one. So let me click here and paste. Now this form needs to be large, so let me click and drag here. Okay, so if you have a customer photo, you can come and place it here and it will make your application look so good. Okay, so now here let me stretch. So now what we are going to do here is that the order form that we created here, it needs to be added to this particular form. So we click, now we drag it here, bam. So let us remove this. We choose to place it here. I'll right click, special effects, let me choose sync. Okay, so now we are going to build a relationship between this form and this form. So you highlight a subform, you go to data. Now Microsoft Access has been so smart and smartly has built a relationship using a customer ID. So now we are good to go. Let us go to the form view. So you can see that you wouldn't be typing the IDs of the customer. What you just need to do that for each customer selected, you click here, product, the date automatically comes. So let's say quantity is 2. Now you save. So this has been saved. Now I go to add again. So let's say the same customer, this product. So let's say 30. Now we save. So this has been saved. Now if you want to go to a different customer, you can search here. Let's say Sandra or Evans. So Evans. Now you can see the ID is now 3. So you move on and then add the products for this customer, each and every blessed day that the person comes. So this is saved. Go to add. So you will be confused that nothing is really showing over here because these buttons have not been made interactive enough. But then we are still making progress. So we save. So now let us go to the invoice table, and you can see the invoices that we've actually placed just now. Okay, so let us make this button here, the save button in particular, more interactive. So we go to design view. Now click here. Navigation, I wouldn't show it. So this time when I go back, you can see there's no navigation here, and this makes it look so beautiful. So we go to design view once more. Okay, so now let's select this button. So we go to events. Now the on click events, I will delete everything here. I'll click the builder icon, code builder. So here I'll say dim nk. So do cmd.refresh, do cmd.save. Now you can say nk is equal to msg box. So record. So let's say product added to cart successfully. So VB information. Now we say added to cart. Okay, so we close. Now we are done. So let me close the form again, and I will open it once more here. So this time around, let's say Smiler. So let's say Christabel Amankwa products. So this is the invoice, the product that the person would like to order. So 20. Now save. So product added to cart successfully. And as soon as you come here and refresh, you can see it jumps right in here. So the same Christabel, another product. So let's say Chocomalt 3. Now you save. Okay, so now you can see that if we hover the pointer over these buttons, they gray out to white, which is not professional. So let's go back and change it. So we go to design view. So design view here, we'll select all the forms. Now go to formats. So hover color, you set it to highlight, press color, highlight. So hover for color 00, press for color 00. So now we save it, and this should solve our problem for us. So this time around, you can see that it is now fixed successfully here. So by default, the date will be today's date, but then you feel free to change it if the need be. But ordinarily, this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, so now if you want to place an order, what you do is that you quickly. Okay, so now we are done with the order form. The next thing is for us to do the sales calculation and then also show the cards here. So with that, we will need the aid of a query. So we go to create query design. So here in query design, we are going to need the customers table. We are going to need the invoice order table. Okay, so now what we'll do is that we'll bring all the invoices here. So if you run this query, to give you all records in the invoice table. So now, because of this relationship, we can choose to show the customer name, address, and the phone which we will need on the invoice. So here we run, and you can see customer ID, the associated customer name, address, and the phone. So let us make progress. Okay, so now the most important thing is the calculation of the sales. So let's go to the blank column and do the sales calculation. So right click here, you go to build. Now we say sale cost. So sale cost, let's make it order cost. So column here. So this will be the name of this blank column. Now we are going to say invoice table dot quantity times, so invoice dot quantity. Okay, so now guys, let us cancel this. Now you can see that we only have the products, but then there is no price, so we need to add the product table to this query so that we can fetch the price. So we show the tables now, products. Okay, so here we are going to build a connection from here through up to here. So now we get a price here. We double click to add, and now you can see that for each product the price, so this price was looked up from the product table here. So for gin tools is 20, so let's see whether it is correct. So you can see that gin tools indeed is 20 here. So already you have the product and the prices, and it has been fetched for you in the order. So as soon as the customer makes an order, the system fetches and brings the price. So now we are going to calculate the sales, the order cost. So build, now we say order cost. So we are going to say invoice table, so dot quantity now times the price, so times products dot price. So okay, now we run. So here it is telling us that 2 times 20 is 40, which is correct. So 30 times 13.89 is this, so it's also this. Okay, now let us right click, we save this query. So we say invoice query extended. Okay, now also we are going to do a customized serial creation for a customer sales or orders on a particular date, because on a particular day a customer will order about 10, 5, any number of items, and you can see that the order IDs here are different. But then if you want to get all of them together on a report for a particular customer, then you have to create a unique serial for a day sales for each customer. So to do that, we still go to the design view of the query. It's so easy. Right click here. So now we say sales code. So we're going to say sales code. Some of you can also choose sales serial. So now for the unique sales code for every customer on a particular date, so we are going to say the day, so the day of the order date, we concatenate that one with the month of the order date, so we concatenate that one also. So you can see that these are all the arguments of date. So this one is also year, we need a year of the order date. So basically the whole of this is just identifying the date the person is making the sales. Now we just concatenate with the customer ID. So each customer ID, so the customer ID together with the dates. So we hit OK. Now once we run, so now let's read this error. The specified for customer ID could refer to more than one table listed in the query, SQL query, which is true. So let's debug, right click, build. So here, and now what Microsoft Access needs us to do is to tell access where customer ID is being looked at from. So we say customers, so customers dot customer ID, which is okay. Now we run this query. So now, so let's take for instance customer number 1 on this particular date, although he made, so you could see that the sales that the person made, the order IDs are different, but then they all have the same serial. So we'll be able to show this, so this will be able to be shown on a particular report or the invoice as the orders placed by the customers. So on a report, we are going to make use of this highly. That is the reason I need to generate your sales code. So let me go over the sales code because it's very much important. So design view, right click, build. So the dates, you fetch the day, month, and the year, then concatenate the customer ID, then you run here. Okay, so now that we are done, let us create a very quick form, a data sheet to be embedded in the order form before we create the invoice finally. So we go to create form. So let me save this. Okay, so I will need only order ID, order date, product, quantity. Then, so I will need order cost, then sale code. Next. So this form will be a data sheet. Next. Now, so we'll say cards. So cards. Now this is okay for us here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is alternate colors. I will set it to white. And now let's go back here, design view. So data. Now we shouldn't be able to add records here. We should be able to edit records here also. So you set all those ones to no. So let's go back again. Sorry, data sheet. Now we select everything. Color, I'll make it 12. Okay, so guys, now we are good to go. But then the final thing is for us to show the order cost, the total. So you click totals, and now here select sum. So okay, so having done this, we close everything. Now you go back to your order form, design view. Now let's stretch it here. So we stretch it out here. Now cards will be dragged here. Sorry, let me type C here. Okay, so I'll close this. Okay, so now let me extend this. Now you make sure you set for this particular form, horizontal anchor should be both, vertical anchor should be both. Here too, I'll make it a sank form. Okay, so now let's see. So let us do the relationship well here. Okay, so now here we click here. So we click here. Now we go to data. So you could see the relationship is now order ID. So we need to use customer ID and then customer ID. Okay, so once done, you save. So now you can see that it is giving you a track of all the orders that a particular customer has placed, but then the sales code will be unique per each day. So now our order form, so let's open customer invoices. So we need to stretch this one across here. So let's stretch it out here. And now here too, we set the anchoring to both. So to both. So now also, once on the events, the unload events of this form, let us maximize it. So we say maximize window. So as soon as this form is opened, let me close and open again. Customer invoices. So now guys, you can see it is now looking so good. So should you add one more product to Smiler's stock cart, let's say a Bapa macro, let's a different one, ice, let's say 3. So here you can see it has jumped in here. Quantity is 3, and then the price, so you could have brought the price, and this is So you can choose to add the price to this data sheet also here. So a different customer, and if you add a customer out there, it will actually appear over here as well. So let us add one more product for this. So quantity, let's say 3. Now once we save, it jumps in here. If you make any changes, it jumps in here. Okay, so guys, now progressively we are done with all the tables and the form. Now the final phase is for us to be able to print the invoices. So before we get to that, this needs to be a hyperlink. So design view, now sale code, you go to format, it's hyperlink, you set it to yes. Okay, so this is how it will appear. So it's a hyperlink. So when everything is done, this will now be clicked to display the invoice report for us successfully. So let us go and create the invoice. It's very easy. So now you open the invoice query extended, you go to create report wizard. So on the invoice, we are going to need order ID, so products, we need quantity, we need price, then we need order cost. Okay, so here we move to next. So let's sum by the order ID, next. Okay, now here you choose tabular for this report. So let's preview the report here. Okay, so this is the original invoice report. So now let us modify it, design view. So you click here, shape outline. So I will choose black so that it looks good. Now fill, I will choose transparent. So let me select everything here. Color needs to be black, font size needs to be 12. 12 is looking so big, but then it's okay. Let's change it here. Okay, so now we wouldn't need this, so we can bold this or also change it neatly. So you can set the rightful. So now the whole of this, now you feel free to design your invoice. So we are designing the invoice here. So now let's click here, alternate. I didn't need it to be alternating. Now report view. So now this is my invoice. Okay, so now let us add some couple of stuff. So I'll close the gaps. So I'll close gaps here. I'll close the gaps. So we close here. So it's okay to me because of my laptop screen. So meaning actually this one was 14, it's supposed to be 12. Okay, now we click here. So the size, so order cost is too big, so let me resize it here. Now click here and fill it white. Okay, so now we are going to show the total of the order cost here. So we go to design, totals, sum. Okay, so now here this is going to be the grand sum. So let us bring a label here. So we say grand sum, or you can say amount payable. So amount payable. So format painter, we copy and paint it here. Okay, so we can actually bring it closer here. So let me select size tallest. Okay, so now the next thing, since it's an invoice, so we are going to say, invoice. We are going to say invoice. Center align. So let's choose 18. 18 is small, 20 is okay, big. Okay. Okay, so Now you're going to say invoice. So invoice, let me bring this one here. Now I'll insert a logo, browse. So let's go to downloads. I have a logo there, so I'll bring my logo right in here. So invoice. Okay, so now I have the invoice here. So let us add. So now we'll need, so the invoice, the sale code, we'll bring it here, and this is going to be invoice. So invoice number. So this is going to be the invoice number. So we select. So now size 14. So this is okay. Shape fill transparent. Okay, so invoice number. Now you're going to say, so we're going to say bill to, so bill to, so which person is this bill going to? So we click here, customer ID, customer name, address, phone. So we click and bring everything right in here. So the bill is going to, I wouldn't need the labels. So I wouldn't need the labels. Okay, so now bill to center align. Let me bring this also here neatly. So we group this. So guys, we are almost successful with our project. So now click here, extend this. So now the next step is for us to change the size here to 12 is okay, and it's black. So black is okay. Shape fill transparent. Okay, so now let me preview the invoice. So now this is the invoice, so it needs a lot of designing again. So we select everything here. Before, double click here to show the property sheet, select everything here. Now outline, you set it to transparent. And then also there's some couple of settings you need to do. Pop-up need to be yes, and then also auto center is yes. Sizable, you set it to 10. Scroll bars, we don't need any scroll bar here, but you can choose to show vertical, but for now let me show neither of them. Okay, so now there has to be some buttons here. Let me bring this one here. So there has to be buttons. So design, I'll bring only the print button here. So print, now I'll say print. So let's do two buttons, print and print preview, copy and paste. So we'll show all those buttons here. Now this one will be print preview, and I'll click shape outline, quick styles. I will now select this. Okay, so now right click, build events, macro. So this one, the command will be print objects. Now you save it. So here to right click, you say print preview. Okay, now that we are done, let us show it. Okay, so as soon as you click print preview, it opens to show you your invoice. So over here we need to do some couple of alignments here. So we go to design view once more. So align to left. Okay, so now once we are done, so build to, let us modify the build to, so it has to appear here. Okay, so okay guys, so now that you are done with this, We close. Let's save. Now we come to customer invoices, design view. Now I know that this was a hyperlink, so we are going to add a code that will go and open the invoice. So we right click, build events, macro builder. So here we'll say open reports. What's the report's name? So we can click here. We have only one report invoice, but the work condition is going to be equal to sale code is equal to end. Now you bring quotation inside, you put apostrophe there, and sale code, and the same thing, quotation inside with apostrophe. So the sale code here, you enclose it in quotation. Now we are open to dialog mode, so we save. Okay, so now guys, let us close and open our project finally to see our progress. Okay, so now for Smiler's orders on this day, if we should issue the invoice, we expect to see 3 items, sum up to 816.7. So here you can see that Smiler's invoice has now neatly been opened here. So let us open the different persons. So Christabel Amankwa, 2636, 3 items. So now you can see the details, and now you can see the order cost also. Awesome. So let's try once more. So now let's say we want to add another item. So click products, Chocomots. So quantity 3, we save. Let's add one more. So keyword, let's say 4. Now we save. Now as soon as you hit here, it opens to show you the total. And then so if you want to also put in the comma here, then you change the format over here to standard. Now there is a little issue, guys. So our celebration is not complete. Now if we print preview, you know that print preview shows you how your printout will look like. But here lies the case that the image here, the logo is missing. Sometimes this is an issue, but then let me show you how to fix this. To fix this, you close everything. Now what you are going to do is that you go to create a blank form. So design view, this will be a very small form. Also, so you save it, I'll call it logo. Now this form, I wouldn't need record selectors, nothing in here. I wouldn't need scroll bars. So what I would do here is that I will insert only my company logo here. So sometimes if you face that issue, this is how to solve it. Now select the image, size mode, you select stretch. Okay, so now you are way successful. Now that you have it here, what you do is that you insert this one on the report, but make sure that the outline of this particular picture, you set it to transparent. So now we go to our invoice reports. So here, remove this logo here, we bring it right in here. So remove this, you place it here, outline, you select transparent. Okay, so now let us try it once more and see. Okay, so here print preview, and now you can see that the image is now showing neatly here. So we try once more. And now we have it neatly showing here, print preview. So now let me correct invoice. So this is invoice. So this is invoice. So guys, once more, and now you can see that our invoice form is now. So now we have been able to successfully complete our invoice creation or handling database. So you feel free, you find a link to this file in the description below. Feel free to improve upon it. If you have any question or suggestion, if you wish we had done it in any other way, kindly feel free to put it in the comment section. This is a community whereby everyone's need is actually very much important. If you have any special consultation to do, check down the description for my email or WhatsApp number. You contact me, then we talk it out appropriately. Guys, feel free to share this video with your communities, your friends, so that the channel will continue to grow. Thank you so much for watching. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to send invoices to your customers via mail, so stay tuned. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.